Hey, we are live.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
We have a lag of like what do you say, like around 5 seconds, and
Yes.
that should be all right. So sorry, apologies for the delay because there were like couple of people who had to like been you know.
We
So
were just
how is
waiting in the
everyone?
comments.
Sorry.
We were just waiting for everyone, right? Like people
Exactly.
were, yeah.
Yeah. There were like loads and loads of people were joining today, so we were waiting for them as well. So that's also there. And hi everyone, how are you all? So let's do something awesome today. So generally, what people do is like during the interviews, they try to kind of like ask some crazy questions, right? So today, what we will be doing is for that craziness, let's try to create a fictional problem, or else maybe the problem that I face, we will try to solve something like that. So this is what we are planning to do today. All right. So we'll be working on, we will be taking up a small problem thing, and then we will try to work it out, which is commonly found in interviews. And as an interviewer, I have a like a really a big problem of like when there are a lot of candidates coming for different levels of roles. I have issues in like making them questioning them on the right path, and then scoring them and doing all these things. What if I can automate all these things? So this is what is the plan today. And thanks Sandeep for bringing me in. And by the way, let me quickly say about myself. So I guess a lot of people know me, and for those who don't, I'm Praveen. I'm from India, from Chennai, currently living and working in London. And I'm a full stack JavaScript developer specializing in React and Node.js. So I keep saying full stack, full stack. So what is a full stack
Pro-
that doesn't have a website? So let me.
probably I should have done that introduction for you.
It's all right, bro. So I'll just do
And
that one. Yeah, go
in
on.
all the scenario for today's interview session, I guess you're not gonna roast me off in the overall session today,
That's true. That
taking an
needs to be
interview for me.
happening as well. Hey, sorry, just give me 1 second. Looks like there is something totally wrong with this. God, supposed to be like this, right? Seems like it is a bit missing here. I should have done this one before. Right. So there you go, folks. So here, this is my
Praveen, I
website.
guess your video
Yeah,
went
yeah, yeah, yeah.
missing.
I know. Yeah, sorry
Thanks.
for
Thanks.
the bit of a confusion that happened. So here's my website. This is how it looks. I'm a full stack web developer. There is a small, quick introduction about this, and my experience, my education, and this is something what I urge every single person who is a web developer to do. And I do have my own YouTube channel as well, so that you will be able to see here. Praveen.science is my website, and please keep in touch. So this is something which I wanted to say. And another thing is, as always, if you want to keep in touch with me, please go ahead and give me a request in LinkedIn. That would be the best way of contacting me, and I'm happy to guide you all with careers and JavaScript and all the technical stuff. Okay, so enough of my intro. And before that, I just wanted to show you how my development environment looks. So if you go to Google and type in Praveen Dev Environment, you can see the first link as the my personal development environment. And here I've been using Google Chrome, then Zoom obviously for doing all these sharing and talking to people and etc. Git is for mainly for the version control systems. Then just let's go into the stuff that we require. So VS Code is what we will be using today, and most probably we will be using something like an online tool called Code Sandbox, which contains almost all these things that are already there. So without further delay, I'll ask Sandeep to say a few words. I did not allow him to talk. So
No
while I
worries.
set up, go on,
So the
Sandeep.
only thing I got to say for everyone is that when I came to know about this first time for this dev environment, so this is something crazy. I got to know about a lot of things. wherein so I definitely recommend everyone to go and check out. It's not about something that you can find these things. This is something like they are not taught in any kind of session. You'll find very a lot of hidden things in these type of blogs. So the deepest secrets of development are hidden inside the blogs. So let's dig
100%.
them up.
I mean, it comes from experience, right? So
Exactly.
I want to share my experience with everyone. So that is something there. And apart from that, okay. So this is the thing. And if you wanna go check out my YouTube channel, also that is also there. And so by the way, hey, will I be able to send the links? For example, if I need to send the code sandbox links, will it be possible? Because I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
sure.
try sending a link. Let's see what is happening. Are you all able to see the link in the chat? The one which I just sent? Okay, I don't think it is going on. Yeah, it's not working, bro.
Just a second. I have just contacted and it will be just fixed in a while. Like, just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, let me try without the HTTPS or something. Yeah, nothing's working. Okay, we are waiting for. Let me know once it is ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, folks. It's technical problems again.
It's done.
It's done. Okay, so let me try to send a test link first. Can you all see this? Oh, yes, I guess it works. Perfect, that works. And okay, so I'll send the dev URL as well. So Praveen dev environment. Hey, we need to also make the notes of all the links that we use in this thing so that it will help them too. Right?
Yep.
And I'll send the code back or code sandbox ID as soon as we start something and we get that. Right. So this is code sandbox. And if you see here, you can see the React template here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try saving this so that it is going to completely give me an own sandbox. So the link of this sandbox is here. Okay, let me send that link. And yeah, let's start working on. So the first thing which I was thinking of doing is, so before anything, let me tell you what exactly I'm planning to do. So if I go to open a blank page, I wanted to show all something like this. Okay, so say like I want a page. Wow. Okay, I want a page that contains, first it needs to tell me which particular question set I need to use. Say for example, I could have okay, I'm sorry about my handwriting. Okay, so React advanced or React basic. So this is one thing. Then I want Node.js, something like this. So what are all these are the different question sets that I have, and which question set I want to choose. Okay, let's say I want to choose React and I want to choose Node. This is the first thing I'm going to do. Once I get that one, so I'll be shown with a couple of questions, and then uh, a set of rating for that question. So what happens here is, whenever I try to talk to a person or a developer, when I take an interview, what I generally do is I need to have a set of questions that I need to ask the developers. And then with that being said, uh, every time when they answer something, I need to make sure that okay, so they're answering this way, so I'll make a note of like say five out of three, sorry, 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 for this particular question and answer. And already I would have a good, like an understanding of what the answer should be, or what all things that the answer should contain and stuff like that. So with that being said, what I want is like a UI that has a question, and then we have a list of options. So technically this is not at all a problem. Till now people are using their handwritten notes to make something like this, and then they will be like you seeing the notes, they will be again converting everything to online digital media, and then they will be sending an email to the HR saying that this is what is the interview feedback. But what I am planning to do is, okay, for the first question I am giving like 1 mark, for the second question I'm giving like 4 marks, and then I'll do it for all the rest of the questions, which covers this React and Node in a perfectly ordered manner. For example, you want to cover all the React questions first, then you want to cover all the Node.js questions next. Then there is also another thing. So let's say if the person, each question is tagged with certain keywords. You can have something like advanced functions, basic functions, fundamentals, theory, etc., something like that. So based on the way we select the answer and give the marks, we can say like, okay, this person is like really good in React part. In specifically the theory part, this person is doing really well, and something like that. It needs to generate a report. This might seem like artificial intelligence, but it is very purely like, if then else statements. That's it. So this is what we are going to what do you call this, do today. And is this clear for everyone? Like, do you have any questions on this? What do you think, Sandeep? This is what we are going to do today. Sandeep, are you there?
Okay, I was there. I was just muted. Okay.
All right.
So, okay. So it does not matter actually. People know React or not actually, but definitely they are gonna know a lot of things. What's gonna be there in the interviews in actual.
Definitely. Yeah. So that is what we are going to try. We are going to solve a problem that is not yet existing, but we will try to solve it in such a way that we will be able to, we will be learning React as well on the way, right? So that is what we are going to do. So I'm just going to concentrate only on those parts which are React specific, and then we'll see how we are achieving something like this. So first and foremost, what we need to do is we need to figure out a good data structure for it, right? So I'm going to create a file called, let's say, I just created a new file called data.json. Okay. And this is a JSON file which contains the list of, the first thing is you need to tell what are all the different, what do you say, topics that you are going to cover. Like, let's say React Basic. Then React Basic will have some list of questions. Then we have React Advanced. And let's say we have some more questions. Then we do have, what was the other one? Node.js basics. And we'll have Node.js Advanced. Okay. So these are the 4 different types of questions that we are going to cover. Now, how are we going to bring in that set of questions here? So before anything, I want to include Bootstrap. How many of you are a fan of Bootstrap here?
I'm the biggest fan of Bootstrap out there.
Awesome.
Like, so there's no one actually who can ever hate Bootstrap. And anyways, in between, just a boom for everyone. To all the people who are watching this in here, do not forget to subscribe the channel down below and like it. And
also don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well.
Subscribe to Praveen's channel as well. Also, can you put the link for your channel in the chat box?
Sure. I'm just putting it now. Like, this is my channel, and you'll be finding a lot of things, not the Bootstrap CDN. Please subscribe here too. Great. Please go ahead, click on the subscribe button on my channel too, and for more awesomeness, please motivate me. So my channel looks like this. So this is my channel, and it has got a loads and loads of awesome things. There are like completely crazy stuff here. So starting with Alexa, we did something related to Alexa, and that was crazy. So don't forget, go there, hit on the subscribe button, and you'll be amazed. Okay, so coming back to our work, so let's look into that data.json. So we have created these data, and then I'm just gonna open bootstrapcdn.com. So here's where I can get the bootstraps CSS. So quickly adding an external URL that will allow me to use bootstrap CSS. And then I'm also going to use something called node SAS, which will help me to run SCSS files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this style.css, and the data can be put into a JSON file, right? It's a so I'll start with components, and let's have another folder called styles, and another folder called constants. So this data goes to the constants. So I'm just putting it on inside constants. And for the app, it definitely goes to components. So I'm just putting it into components. Immediately this will fail. Yeah, it's gone. And now in the index, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put components. Nothing is coming up. So I'll just update this one. And let's see what it says. Okay, there you go. So things are working fine. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of using this one, I will start with something like, okay, I need to also add our CSS file too. So the CSS file should be here. So I'm just going to use index.scss. SCSS stands for, so why SCSS? I'm going to show you something awesome. So sassmeister.com is a site where you can convert CSS into SCSS. So let's say we have a kind of like a header.
Also, this was a website that we considered, I guess, in the previous live stream during the card maker one.
Exactly. So let's say you have a website like this, like a markup like this, which contains a header tag. Then inside that there is a h1 tag. There is inside that a tag. There is a nav tag, ul, li, and a link. Okay. So if it is like this, how are we going to create so many stuff here? So what I would be generally doing is I would start with using something like a SAS code. What it does is, so let's say I have a header tag. Inside that there is h1, there is a, and next to h1 there is nav, ul, li, a. So how many tags have I used? How many lines of code I have used? Only 16 lines of code for this entire whole thing. Now I'll show you what exactly is going to happen here. Okay, so the moment I add some kind of like comments here, because since empty rules are not getting generated, look at this. It is automatically generating all the code for me. Like if I want to use header, nav, ul, li, a, it's going to generate everything for me. And we know that there are functions that is existing in JavaScript, right? So if I do something like a mixin, which is the function in SCSS, so link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put text decoration none, and if I have a hover, so colon hover, text decoration underline, something like this I'm putting. Okay, so if I need to use this on both the a tags, what I can do is I can do at include link. The moment I do that, look at this, not only in this, even in here I can do it. If I need to add more code for these things, I can quickly go here and say like font weight bold, and then immediately everywhere the whole thing gets applied. So you write only once and you get this whole thing done many times. This is the best reason why I have been using SCSS. So what we will do now is we will try to add the SAS support here. So this website is, I'll just share this website as well so that you can directly look at what is happening here. Boom. Right. So the first thing that I want to do is for the body tag to have something like font family, open sans, and let's see if that works. It doesn't work because I need to import this one. So I'm just gonna do import uh, styles index.scss. Boom, that worked. Now the other things are like I just need to create a bits and pieces of how Bootstrap works. So let's start with getting our data here inside our app. So inside the app, what we can do is we need to get the constant and data. So I'm going to import data from the data JSON looks is found in the constants folder. So I need to go traverse to the other folder to get it. Now with this being done, if I try to create a paragraph tag or a pre tag, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pre let's use a class name with border. Yeah, we can see a light border p3. There you go. So I will just add a okay, since I don't think any completions will work here, so I'm just gonna use my VS Code to get the completions done and update it here. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So I'll just take this data alone and let me make this bigger. So the first thing which I want to do is I want this to have an app class. Inside that I want a container. Then there will be a row, and inside the row let's use a call 12 which will give me the right place to like put something. So I'm just gonna give a hello here and let's see what works. Boom, that actually worked well. So we've got the hello here. So we just need to see how this if there is a paragraph, if there is a pre tag, how it works. So let's do pre.border.p3.bglight.rounded. So if I want to check if there is any kind of like a what do you call this, any thing that is available in the state or data, I need to debug something. What I generally do is I'll use something called as json.stringify and then get this data. So data is what we need to find. So I just put data null2, and if you see here, boom, we've got all these things. So whatever we wanted, it is here right now. So this is good. Now we have got all these 4 things. So now we need to find a way to show a selector, and then the selector will be able to add the data here. Okay, so before that, let's have a small header. So if you see my GitHub profile, there is something called as a Bootstrap helper here. So we go to my list of repositories and type in Bootstrap.
I think I'm seeing your GitHub profile for the first time, and it's freaking 379 repositories.
Why, bro? Is it bad?
Like, when are you planning to make it 1000?
1000. Why, dude? Already I'm not able to manage all these things. So we have got card element, we've got containers, we've got headers. So I want to use this headers. So I'll just copy this one and I create a new header file. Okay. So inside the file system, inside the components, I want to create header slash. Okay, I can't use this way. Worst. I'll use header, and then inside the header, I will create another file called header.js, and I'll just paste this one. So this is going to create a small, simple header file, the header component. So before the container, I would like to put the header here. So it's not actually working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import it manually. Import header from header slash header. Okay. The moment I do here, I would be getting something like a basic header or hello. Yes, I do. I have got a header right now. So I'll add a class name as header. And how many of you like a dark header? How many of you like dark header or how many of you like light header?
Actually, no, the person who likes a light header has no rights to see this video and go ahead.
All right. So let's use a dark header and let's do MB3 so that it gets slightly down there. Perfect. So we've got a header, we've got the data that we want to receive, but the data needs to be in a different way. So if we go back to our Get Bootstrap website, we have this documentation that contains a lot of nice things. So inside the layout or inside the components, we can use something like a selection. So we can, again, we will use the card layout. So github.com/Praveen Science. Oops, not this one. So let's try to use the Bootstrap help us again. So let's go back to our repositories. Bootstrap. And yeah, so the card element. Here's the card element. I have no clue what I have done for the card element. It's a huge element. So this will be like doing this cards. Okay, so this card, we will be using it. And oh wait, should we use this card? I want to use something like a card with a header and footer. So something like this. So let me create another element here, cards, and then let's add card.js. So here comes the whole card element here. Okay, so we have got like text header and all these things. So there are like so many options here. So what I need to do is I don't need any image or image alignment, but header, I want a header here. So I'll start with importing the card first. So import card from cards/card. And then there is a reason why I have not used something like React Strap, because React Strap will give everything in our way, and there will be not much like learning that we can do if we are using a card element like a React Strap or any kind of like those kind of usage, right? So that is the main reason why I have been doing all these things myself. So we'll do like ReactJS interview helper, and let's create a card element inside this instead of pre. Let's have the pre here. Let's use card, and then it shows an empty thing. Okay, so technically this needs to have something like this, and if I try to say hi here, I'm able to get this thing whole done. Okay, so for this one, let's see, we want a header. So the header is going to be select the paths, maybe paths. That would be the best thing. And then what I need to do here is I need to create a select tag with a multiple option. So I'll be using the class name as form control so that it looks a bit better, and size we can give like 5. Boom. So this shows you like a list of things, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all the options to be coming from here. So what I need to do is I need to get the options from the data. So the data has all these options, but unfortunately it is in the what do you call this one? This is inside the but confused. It's the object keys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use object.keys of data. So this is going to give me those data objects. Okay, so I'm going to map all these things, and then we have the like key value pair, right? So the value and index is what is going to come here. So this is going to be the topic and index, or maybe we can use as key. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an option tag. And let me add topic here, and we'll give the key so that React is actually taking it as the perfect one. So now we have got all these things inside this, which is selectable. So I can even select multiple things. So for that, what I need to do is I need to use multiple true. Boom. So I will be able to select all these things. Now the funny part is now we need to somehow have the multiple paths selected and displayed some way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in behind the card, and let's give a class name mb2. Okay, so now the first thing is I need to get these things onto the state. So since we are using a what do you call this, functional component, which is more advanced and more efficient than the class components, we'll go ahead with using the use state. And hey bro, I guess we won't be able to complete a lot today. The reason is I need to have a hard stop at 1:45, like in half an hour. We'll see what maximum we can do, and then we will continue it as a second part. Is that okay?
Completely fine. Sure, sure.
How about
If
you
we are
all?
stuck in
Yeah.
if we are stuck in between, we can definitely come up with the second part of this.
Okay. So selected. We'll use const as selected topics, and for using selected topics, we can use the set function as well. So set selected topics. This is going to be a use state, and we can start with an empty use state. Now, instead of data, I'm going to use selected topics. So it's going to be a empty array. Now, what I need to do now is when I click on this or click on this, this two things should go here. Okay. So that's what I need to do. And before that, I wanted to go to the constants and change these two into JS. So yeah, perfect. Now let's get back to our work. So if we go to the app.js and we've got the set selected thing, we need to have a on change handler. So on change, let's do something. So let's create a small function, which is the on change handler. So const handle change. And we'll need to do something on this one. So inside our on change handler, we'll use a handle change. Okay. So what is going to happen inside this E? Okay. I guess it should be e.target.value. And if I try to do console.log e.target.value, and then if I go to our console, whoa, so many errors are. Let's clear all the errors. Problems. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's fine. So if I refresh this page, does it still have any issues? No. Okay, great. So if I try to go and select something, it says Node.js. If I select two things, uh, great. This is interesting. I need to find a way to get multiple selections. So let's try checking it out. Select multiple get values. Okay, so if I have these things, okay, this is all jQuery based things. So how do we get it in React? Or else we should not be using this in React at all. So there is e.target.selected options. Nice. We have something called as e.target.selected options. Let's try that out. So if I save this one, let's reload it. Okay, so if I click on this and this one, it looks like it is actually getting the selected option elements, which is good. So we can use the same kind of a logic and we can retrieve the options value for everything, which is perfect. So we just need to use this one. And okay, I'm just gonna close these things. So if we try to do the same thing, try to do the same thing, we can clearly see what is gonna happen. Boom, we've got it in the way that we require. So we've got React.js basic and Node.js basics. Okay. And great.
From
So
the past 10 minutes, I was struggling to unmute myself.
what? Oh my God. What happened? Why?
I don't know. There was some problem with my mouse. Actually, I was about to say that very soon we'll be upon something, but I was struggling to unmute myself. Anyways, continue.
Now go ahead. Talk now.
No, actually, the context is gone now, so there's no point of saying it now.
All right. So what I'm going to do is this is the complete list, right? So I'm just gonna change the console.log to set selected topics, and that set selected topics, it's going to do array from, and then this array.from, what it does is it's going to loop through all these things. It is something like map function. Okay, so it is going to do a map function, and then it is going to take this what do you call this? Okay, let us try to use the map. Oh, okay, you can't use the map on this one because it is a HTML collection, not exactly an array. It is an array type, so you won't be able to use the map function on this. So for that, what we do is, since it's an iterable way of doing things, you'll be using array from for array like structures, and you give the first parameter as the selected options, which contains all the option elements, and each option element will have its own option value. So we will take that value and then map it to the transform it into the normal value and set it into the selected topics. So since we have got the selected topics here, and if I refresh this page, it's going to transpile all the modules. And then if I click on this one and this one, so you got what all things that we need to look for. Okay, so whatever I click, it is going to update here, which is perfect. So this is the first thing which I wanted to do, which we have done. Now let's do this way. So here for this particular card, the maximum we are sending is the on change value and the data value. That's it. Okay, so what we can do is we can create another component here. So React is all about creating many components. So we will create something like path selector, and let's create a new file called path selector.js, and then let's do something like this, right? Okay, so inside the path selector, what we need is whatever is there inside the app, the card and other things. So we also require this card component in that case. So if we cut it off, the card and data won't come up. But anyway, what we will do is we will take the card data and then some handle change. These are the three things that we will be taking up. So let me know if you have any questions as well. So we'll be like, then and there we will be able to clarify it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the three things here, like whatever we saved, and then I'm going to use this path selector on the app.js. So let's use it here. So what is path selector? We need to get the path selector from this. So path selector from path selector / path selector. And this path selector needs a couple of things. The first thing being handle change. It's going to be handle change. Then card being card. I don't know whether card will work actually. And then finally we need data, which is data. Boom. So now it works, and we have got everything in a single file as well. So if I try to delete all these things and bring everything down, okay, it's going to go back there. Okay, great. So now we have got our path selector as well. Now the next thing that we need is the real quiz, that the quiz that needs to be I mean, technically all the questions that are inside this need to be shown here. Okay, so something that displays the question, that is what we need, right? So let's add some questions here. Hey Sandeep, give me some questions now. Basics. So what is React.js?
What is React, and is React a JavaScript library or a framework?
Good one. Hey, nice man. I'm gonna ask this in the next thing. Okay. Okay. So we've got two things, and for advanced, how? Okay, let's do one thing. I don't want to give away any questions here. Potentially, I will be like
So that ultimately
yeah.
what happens is, if anyone ends up landing a job or an interview at your company with you, he'll be already knowing all the questions that you're going to ask
Exactly.
for
I don't
them.
I don't want to screw up on that, and then they will never allow me to take any question then. Okay, so we'll just copy this and put some questions like this. 2, 3, 4. But these two questions are like very common. So I'm just going to say that's all right. And then finally, we've got Node.js advanced questions. And so until this, you are able to understand, right? And everyone is able to understand, right? So please put in your comments if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer. Okay, there you go. Like Vikas Kushwaha says something. Use of object.keys here. Uh, okay. Can I get this website name? I just sent the website URL just above. Okay, Code Sandbox. It is called Code Sandbox. And any other questions? I guess there is not many questions right now. Okay, cool. Hey, how many of you have subscribed to my channel? Please go ahead and subscribe it to my channel as well. So I'll just add that to here. Okay. So yeah, let's go with the next thing. So we have almost created the list of questions under Node.js basics, React.js advanced. Why is this coming this way? Maybe it is not big enough. Let's add one more advanced question, like what is or tell about something like this. So let's have the same kind of thing here as well. This is funny, right? Like we have one question, one tell about thing. Okay, so we've got all the questions now here. Okay, so since we have selected these two things, the next step is to show the questions, like display the questions here. So path selector has done its work, so we can close the path selector part. And for the app, we need to do something like okay, let's create another application that actually renders only when the questions are selected. So what I'm going to do now is I'll first check if there is anything in the selected topics. So selected topics dot length is greater than 0, then display the questions component, else don't display anything. Okay, so something like this is what is happening. So if I kind of like get rid of these things, so if I refresh this page, there won't be any questions component here. This is called conditional rendering. So it says don't display anything. But the moment I click on it, display the questions component. That's what is going to happen. So what we can do here is we can create a small alert div. Okay, so let me try to do dot alert info.
Just a point to add in. I exclusively love the sweet alert thing. So in next session we are going to
No,
do
no, no.
that.
Sweet alert is totally different. It is that the thing
Yeah,
that
sweet alert.
comes with
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Got it.
You can actually, okay, if you want to quickly look at it, you can look at it in my website actually. So if you go to my website and if you click on like hire me, it is going to ask for a sweet alert thing. Where is my hire me? I guess I have removed it because I'm already hired. See, this is
It's
sweet
there.
alert,
It's
right?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a sweet alert, and we are not doing something like this, but what we are doing is we are just putting a bootstrap alert. Um, Click on the question paths to continue. So oops, what this does is, so if I'm not selecting anything, it's going to say quick this kind of an alert. You get it right? It's not something like, okay, so then it will display the questions component, something like that. Right. Now, this thing is not a. Hmm. Okay, now the problem here is this is not a connected component at the moment. So we need to make sure this is a connected component. So how am I supposed to do that? So let's go to the card.js, not card. This one is path selector, right? So path selector, option key is there. So I need to use selected or something like that. But how do I send the values? Okay, select multiple values react. Value. Interesting. So what they have done is value equal to this dot state dot value. So the value is array from, that is what they have done. Okay, we'll just use this. We'll see how it works. Okay, so I'm just gonna put value equal to, what was this again? Selected topics. So we've got the path selector, selected topics equal to selected topics, and inside the path selector we will add the selected topics value equal to selected topics. Let's see if this actually works. Actually it works, because without value it cannot display this way. So let's try this one. So we have the selected paths, right? So in the path selector we will go inside the card. The card has something crazy. So that is something which I actually added, or not. I don't think I have added that. Anyway, okay, let me do this. So we have the path selector, and inside the path selector we have the select. We can have a simple button. Reset. Sorry. BTN, BTN, SM, BTN danger. And we can give reset. And this reset should be, okay, I can give empty2 so that there is some space. And this button needs to be available only if the selected topics dot length is bigger. So selected topics dot length is greater than 0. Then, so this is one way of short circuiting thing. So on click to reset selection, and we'll send the reset selection through the path selector. So for the path selector, we need to do the reset selection, and here we'll do just set selected topics as nothing. Okay. So reset selection is going to be reset selection. And if I add something, I reset it, it is actually working. So this is now a connected component really. Okay. So now we have done this part. So we've got React.js advanced and Node.js advanced. Perfect. So the same way, like how we have shown the button, the reset button, only when this condition satisfies, else we are not doing anything at all. So the same way we will be doing the other one as well. So I'm just going to quickly look into the comments from YouTube. Thanks, Beard of Knowledge. And Vikas Kushwaha. Okay, why I am using object.keys? Okay, let me quickly show you an example why we are using object.keys. Okay, so this is for you, Vikas. Explaining now. Oh, I guess there is someone already explained it, but still I'm going to explain it. So let's say we have an object which has a name, say Vikas itself, and we have let's say age 25. Hopefully you are 25. Then let's say you have a gender, saying male, and something like this. Okay, this is a simple object. Now, if I use the obj, I'm getting name, age, and gender, right? So instead of that, what I can do is, if I use object.keys and obj, I'll be getting the keys, this name, age, and gender here, so that you are able to get whatever the object is. So what we have got here in my code here is, if you go to this constants and data, I've got this topics. This is what is the key for this data. So I thought I want these things. So that's the reason I took it in a simple way. So I took the object.keys and got the data. I hope that was clear, Vikas. And there is not much questions after that. So let's continue. Okay. So the next thing is, we've got, once we have selected those things, we need to get only these data from the questions, right? So we need to somehow get those questions and display them here. Okay. For that, let's try to create another component. It's called as questions list component we can do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, delete this one. Yeah, please go. Questions list as a folder, and let me have the questions list component. The reason now you will understand why I have been using the folders here. So for each question list component, what I want to do is I want to create a question component. So the first thing that it's going to take us the data. Then we have our selected topics. Okay, these are the two things it's going to take it. So with this thing, what I want to do is I need to get only the selected topics out of data, which means for each question here, I want to display the questions. Okay, so let me see how I'm going to do. I have like literally no clue, but let me see. I can use a map function, but I'm not sure whether map function will work. Okay, that's going to be a question for us when we are working on it. So I'll go here. I'll add the question list component, return hi. Okay, so now first thing which I want to do here is and I'll just put the pre tag pre dot border dot p3 dot um, all right, I keep closing that one. Let's do json.stringify and get these two things out here. Okay, so now I need this question list component here. So what I'm going to do is, after the card, actually I want the card to be imported first, then path selector import question component from questions list / questions list. Okay, so for this questions list needs to be displayed only when the topic is there. Okay, so I'm going to use questions list. Then this needs to take up two things, data and selected topics. So let's quickly go for it. Data equal to data, selected topics equal to selected topics. Okay, great. We are running out of time actually. Okay, now if I go here, try to do null comma 2, we can see that I've got all the data and the selected topics are here. What I can do is I can loop through the selected topics and get the data alone. This is what I'm going to do now. So I'll do a selected topics dot map. A map is going to give me out an array. Okay. So the topic will be here. And what I want instead is I want the data of topic. So this will give me an array of 2 elements, I believe. So if I have this and this, so it is giving me an array of 2 elements like this, right? Almost done. I can do something like dot flat. So the moment I do a flat, I'm able to get all the questions that is related to these topics. Boom. So let's say if I have like ReactJS and Node.js advanced questions, so I'll just start with the ReactJS advanced questions and Node.js advanced questions. Boom. So now I've got till this. So this is what is I want right now. So selected topics.map flat. This is going to be the question list for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do const questions equal to, that's my formula or something, whatever you can call it. So I'm just going to update that here. Okay, great. Now we've got the list of questions. For each question, what I want to do is I want to create a small, okay, I'll again do a map function. So questions.map. So the first one will be a question, Q and key. And here I want to create something like, I want to create another element here that takes up the question and the key. So I'm going to create another one. This is going to be the question component. So why a question component? Obviously it is componentization and question. So each question will have a couple, this is the question name, right? So let's say name, and or else let's have question itself, QUE. And what I'm going to ask is like, it is going to be the, okay, let's see this way, dot question. And here, let's have a paragraph for now. And then let's add the QUE here. And then let's have a rating of 1 to 5. Okay. So let's bring, I'll just copy this one. Okay, so we've got the question here. Each one has a QUE. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to first import question from question. Boom. So once I click on React.js basics, it's going to show me like what is React.js? Is React a JavaScript library or a framework? Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this card thing. And then each one will be a card. So this is going to be like what is React.js and stuff like that. And I'll just add a MB2 so that I get some space. Now here is where I need to create a 4 different labels. Okay, so how the particular person has answered this question or something like that. So let me make this as strong, and then here I would have, let me also add a paragraph tag here. Already we saw array.from, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one more quick trick. Array.from object.keys. Oh, actually it needs to come from this way. Array of 5 dot keys. There you go. So I get from 0 to 1, like 0 to 4, right? So that's actually a good way to do. I want 0 to 5, 0 to 5 exactly. So this is good. So I'll just go with 0 to 6, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to map these things, and each one is a value and key. Here I'll create a label, and then let's have an input type radio name. This is going to be really crazy here. The name needs to match this question. So let's use a QUE itself. And then value is going to be val, and we'll also add the val here. So if I try to click on React.js basics, I will be getting something like this, which is perfect. Now I'll just give a small class here. So before doing anything here, I'm going to use a dev class name dflex. Want it to be a flex box, and inside that let's have this one. So each of these label will be a flexible flexbox item. And for this one, what I'm going to do is if I go to Bootstrap Flex Utilities, okay, let's make it as 4.5. So I need to take the whole width of it, right? So let's see what we can do with this flex. Boom, look at this flex fill. That is what we need to do. So let's go back to our label. Boom. So now we've got all these things perfectly aligned here. Now with this one being said, we'll give a class name and we'll give mr2. It's going to give some margin or some kind of a spacing. Not only flex fill, let's give a border and rounded. So it looks something like this, and M2 maybe, and P2 as well. Okay, that's going to be very small, but still, if we get rid of this one, you can see that it's going to be like this. So each and every element has got the same thing. Really? Okay. Value is supposed to be val, correct? Name is supposed to be Q in this way. Great. So if I try to do this, so it can go across this one. So this is technically, this is what we tried to build today. And to an extent, we have built it as well. So what do you all think? So if you try to open this in a new tab, it's gonna look this way. Let it transpile all the modules, blah blah. So you've got this page. It's asking like we click on the question paths to continue. So I click on one of these things. It is going to show me all these, the basic ones, and Node.js basic. I've got all the Node.js basic questions as well. So I can just quickly ask someone, hey, what is ReactJS? So the candidate is going to say something like that. And I'm just going to put like, okay, 4 out of 5. And ReactJS JavaScript library or a framework. Okay, it's framework 0. Node.js basics, some 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, that's it. Now all I need to do is convert the whatever I have got so far. Okay, that seems to be kind of like an advanced task. So almost until this I have done. So if I reset this one, it's going to reset everything. We need to use it with care, and there you go. So that's about it mostly. And
Probably I got another implementation of the same project in another point of view. So there was this hackathon. It was called Hacklips. It was going today with a prominent university in India.
okay,
So they were using some sheets kind of thing to track the responses and marking for all those teams. So we can use this similar thing in there as well, and this would be a
ooh,
much better thing.
that's awesome. Nice. That's cool. So that is great. So we got a lot of ideas, and there were a lot of people who came and asked a good question, and I hope you all enjoyed. So yes, man. So what do you think, Sandeep? Shall we do the same thing, like the complete thing on my channel in a later point of time when we are all free?
Definitely, definitely, we can mail
And
it out to all of them again.
awesome. And next time we will be planning it in perfect way so that none of these hiccups will happen. I'm sorry about that,
Exactly.
guys. Personal apologies for you all, and we'll make this continue this whole journey again without any hiccups in a later point of time.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, let me send everyone my LinkedIn address so that you can all go and hit me on LinkedIn, and I'm happy to like answer all your question. And please go ahead, connect with me. And it was really nice seeing you all today, and that too on a Sunday afternoon. So afternoon or evening for you. So yeah.
Afternoon for you. It's for us. It's already 8 p.m., 7
Oh,
p.m.
8 p.m. Sorry. Yes, yes. You are 7. There is 7 o'clock. Okay. So 8 o'clock, I have a class now. So I need to take a class then. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks everyone for coming, and thanks Vikas. Vikas asked a couple of questions, and I also explained it. We've all learned together something new. So that is great. And great. And please do tell us if you have any other comments, like what we could have done better in the coding wise, or and don't forget to subscribe the Merge Intern channel and my channel as well. I have given the links. Let's rock. See you all then. Do you want to say anything, Sandeep?
No.
Any last words?
Goodbye, good night, and keep practicing, keep coding. That's it.
Yep, keep coding. That's what you need to do. Okay, so see you all on a next webinar, and bye bye.